Hey, happy Saturday, Shazatters. So, we have another exciting episode of SHSAT Math. I know everybody's jumping up and down. All right, let me just see that we're live. Let me show you how this is part 6A. All right, so we're going to be covering Form B math. I already covered the gridded math. Where did I write that down? In part 4A and B, I think I wrote here. No, wait, that's Form A. No, yeah. Well, it's in a previous version. I'm gonna have to link all these up together, to get a playlist or whatever. So what we're gonna do today is that I think I'm gonna skip around because there's various categories of questions here, and maybe only focus on the so-called medium and hard questions. Let's see, I printed this out here, so let's see what we got. Well, the first one is prime factorization, so let's start with that. Welcome, I see a few people in the lobby. What's up? All right, so let me get this on the screen for you guys. All right, that's the grid-ins. We already did those. So again, that's in an earlier version of the stream. There's some nice geometry ones. Yeah, actually, I might separate this into the categories. I'm not really sure yet. The prime factorization one just suited my fancy. That's one that kind of throws a lot of students. You may have learned this 2, 3, even 4 years ago. Some students learn it in grade 5, stuff like that. So you kind of want to figure that out. What we're looking for is the prime numbers that are factors of, in this case, 3, 5, 7, 5. And if you don't kind of remember, you're trying to use, right, 5, 11, and 13 are all factors there, right? So you should already know that something like C is not going to be the answer, because that's divisible by 5. 715 is divisible by 5. Some of the others you may not know. A has all primes, B has all primes. Now the question is, does 1, 4, 3? That's probably divisible by something, but let's see. Let's see what we got. So 2 goes in here, no good. 3, no good, because we have 8 plus 15, and we get whatever, that's no good. So the first factor seems to be 5, right? So if we divide 5 into 35, we get 7. 5 into this 7 right there goes once, and then we get 2. So we get 715 out of that. Okay, and what we're building is a visual tree of the prime factorization hierarchy. So we run through the same thing again. Because we already ruled out 2 and 3, there's not going to be a 2 or 3 for 715. But we notice it ends in a 5, so we'll have another factor of 5 again. Okay, so 5 goes into 7 once with 2 left over. 5 goes into 21 4 times with 1 left over. And 5 goes into 15 3 times. That turns out to be this bugger right there. Okay, and what we have is 5 squared, right, times that. So now the question is, there's this guy here, and is 11 and 13 actually a factor there? So let's see if we can put 11 into here. So 11 goes into 143, right? One time with 3 left over. Oh, look at that. We get 11 and 13 out of it, okay? So even though this looked like what we got here, right? And we can double check that by doing 11 times 13, right? We get 33, 11. When we add them up, we get 143. So this was not the answer, right? And B should have been the answer. 63. Where is this thing here? 63 is B, right? Okay. So that's your prime factorization. I am no way intending to make this a prime factorization tutorial, but just to jog you guys' memory, There's usually about one of these on the test every year, usually in the multiple choice section. Um, there may not be one. There could be a year there's two, right? The SAT is packed with wildcards, and that's kind of the problem we have with some of this. But remember, there's like 200 math topics, and from there, 50 to 100 subtopics, and from there, nuances. So technically, there's hundreds of thousands of possible questions they can ask you guys. This is definitely incorporated within the realm of the grade 7 curriculum. So it's definitely something you guys should know. So let's see what we have going on here. Let's see, 64 and 65 are algebra related. So is 67. 68 and 69 are kind of similar. 70 is algebra related. 71 changes topics. So let's see, there's nothing related to prime factorization. I almost feel like stopping the stream and restarting it, just so we get a prime factorization by itself. And maybe I'll group together some of the, because I don't think there's another prime factorization problem on this. There's a PEMDAS one. There's some decimal fraction stuff. Fractions are always on these exams. Constant of proportionality. There's another PEMDAS one. There's some proportion ones. Let's see what we got here. And let me see if there's one that's kind of by itself that I may stick with this one. That's geometry. This again deals with sales tax. Yeah, let me do this. I'm going to start checking these off. So that was 63. I'm going to circle 63. Means we did that, or I should put a D next to it. Did. Okay, let's do 66 because that's not necessarily related. Well, that's still, it involves sets though. So let me toss it in here. Let's do 66. So where is 66? That's this question right here. All right, let me just make sure the stream is live. Yeah, we have a few people in the lobby. Hey, what's up, everybody? Say hello. Please like and subscribe. All right, 66 says there's two sets, R and S, are described below. The sum of the elements in set R equals the sum of the elements in set S. So first of all, some of you never learned sets. So this means this is set R, it's equal to, and that's the curly brace. That's the thing next to the P on your keyboard, at least next to a QWERTY keyboard or Dvorak keyboard. If you go U, I, O, P, and you have left bracket, right bracket. Well, if you shift that, you get left curly brace, right curly brace. So this is set R, and it has four members, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's a second set S that also has four elements, okay? So it says the sum of the elements in set R equals the sum of the elements in set S. So if we want, and we should actually do that. So 5 plus X plus 3 plus 8 equals 6 plus Y plus 4 plus 1. All right. And then it wants what is Y, X minus Y. All right, okay, so I can put all these numbers on the same sides. If I add 5 plus 8 plus 8, if I did that right, I'm getting X plus 16 equals, and then I have 6 plus 4 plus 1, that's 11. So that's Y plus 11, okay? They're looking for X minus Y, so if I subtract Y from both sides, I get X minus Y plus 16 is equal to 11, and I'm going to subtract 16 from both sides. So this is basic basic algebra. This is Algebra 101, just combining like terms, in this case, which is the constants, and then combining symbolic like terms. In this case, there is none. So, but they're asking for x minus y. So anyway, we get x minus y equals 11 minus 16, which is minus 5. So the answer for that should be F. Okay, 66. Yeah, 66 was F. Good. Let me see if there's anything else. So that involved algebra, but let me just see what we can combine here, because I'm going to do a stream maybe with just algebra questions on it. That's geometry, that's geometry, that's geometry. There's this thingy. Let's do 75. Because that's a PEMDAS thing. We'll do 75 and 79. All right, so at the end of the day, I may not do every single question in Form B. That's what we are on with 2022-2023 Form B. Which is the value of the expression shown above? So this is gotcha ISEE, right? So we need a common denominator. So the obvious one is going to be 66ths. Plus that over 66. Plus that over 66. Okay, so we're trying to get the common denominator of 11, 22, and 33. And when we do that, we get 66. This one's just so obvious, it's just a no-brainer. So what do we get? We get 666 for 1/11th. We get 366 here. And we get, wait, did I do that right? And we get 2 here. So that should be 51166. Okay, and if we simplify that, we get 1/6. So this guy wasn't too bad. Okay, what was the other one I said? 79 is at the end of this page. Actually, let's throw in 77 because that's a decimal one as well. So let me put that. We did 75. We're going to do 77, and we're going to do 79. And we're gonna do 78 as well. All right, so we're gonna what do we have for 76 is slightly different, so we're gonna leave that out. Okay, so we're gonna do most of the ones on this page. And when I spin these off into their own questions, I'll probably put the question number on the title of the video, like Q75, 77 or whatever. So okay, which of the following decimals is equivalent to this? All right, so this is just adding mixed fractions, right? So what do we have here? We have to convert this. This is again thirds and ninths. We have mixed denominators, so we have to get a common denominator. This is 1 and 6/9. Just let me make sure I do that. I have dyslexia, so I have to double check all numbers that I'm seeing. 3, 6. Right, so we get 1 and 6/9 plus 2 and 4/9, and that's equal to 3 and 10/9. Okay, and if we wanted to this here, we could have done 1 and 6/9 plus 2 and 4/9. We would still get 3 and 10/9. Okay, and then in either case, 10/9 is equal to 1 and 1/9. That should have been a 3. It looks like a 2. And that is going to give us 4 and 1/9. But we got a problem. That's 1 bar, that's 6 bar, that's 1 bar, that's 9 bar. Okay? 1/9, if you want, you can take 9 and divide it into 1. And when you do that, you'll find you're going to get, if you keep going, you're going to get 0.1111111. So you guys should know automatically, just like your multiplication table, that 1/9 is 0.1 bar. Okay, you should all know that. So you should also know, let's just go through them, that 3.6 bar means 3 6/9. Okay, 3.1 bar is 3 1/9, and 4.1 bar is 4 1/9. So that was the answer. And then this one's interesting because this means 4 9/9, which technically is 5. Okay, so that's an interesting one, right? So basically we have 0.999 forever. Always keep doing nines. All right, so it's so close to 1. It never ever quite literally gets there, but normally we speak of it that way. So usually we would not be writing something like 4.9 bar. That's usually a no-no. That is kind of not making sense, because it would end up being equal to 1, or we get that 5, like I said before. So this would be, a like, let me give that some extra attention, right? Just try to figure that out. So that's 77. Kind of not too bad, but it's this gotcha with the 1/9. You have to know it maps into there, and you don't want to waste time on the exam because of 1/9. This turns out to be a 5-second question. 2 plus 1 is 3. 6 plus 4 is 10. Then you get 1 and 1/9. We get 4 and 1/9. We're done. You're done. It's 10, 15-second question. You need your time to spend on harder, more obtuse, weirder questions. All right, not because you're stuck with 1/9. All right, anybody have any questions about anything? Please like and subscribe. This takes a lot of my time and energy to help you guys, and it would help to reverse back and support the channel. And supporting the channel helps other students as well. Okay. All right, so I said we're going to do 78 as well. By the way, I'm going to probably run this about an hour, and I actually have free time for a little bit after that still, so I might actually fire up a second stream right after this. That will run anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour. So the decimal 0.4 can be written as the fraction x over 25. So this one's kind of a no-brainer as well. 0.4 is the same as 4/10. Okay, and that's the same as 40 100ths. Okay, and they're asking how many 25ths that could end up being. Well, if we divide the bottom by 25, right, we get 4, so it ends up being 10 25ths. Okay, what is the value of x? They're not asking for a decimal. Out. They're not asking for a decimal. They're asking what is the value of the numerator here, right? 10 over 25. Right, again, if we go backwards from what I just did above, that's times 4 gives 40 over 100. Simplify that by throwing those zeros off. Wait, I have 40 over 400. And we get 4/10. That was the original fraction that they gave us up here. Again, this might be a 20-second question. Don't get whacked out with this stuff. Just fly through the thing, okay? And write it out. You don't do everything in your head. You write it out. Okay. 79 is the gotcha. This actually becomes a hard question just because of all the nonsense happening in it. It's simple, many years ago, grade level math, but it's error prone because of the minus signs, and it's probably, I even risk making a mistake doing this. So let's see if we can run through this and start making sense of it. So it says, what is the value of this beast? Well, the denominator is awesome because it's just -4. But remember, at the end of the day, you do not want to throw that -4 away. So the gotcha is going to be figuring out the numerator. Well, this part here on the PEMDAS means -4 times -4. So that is going to be positive 16. Okay, and then what we're going to do is minus 9 times that 16 then. Okay, uh, now we have, and I'm adding these parentheses in here. They were not originally there. Okay, then we have 36 times minus 4. So minus 4 is the same as 2 times 2. So what I'm going to do is double the 36 and get 72, and double the 72 and get 144. So this is minus 144. Again, some of you guys can do this multiplication, and then you forget about the minus sign. Okay? So this is going to be minus 144. And then good old 304 stays good old 304. Okay? This whole bugger over a minus 4, right? Don't just put 4. Don't get lost in the problem. And by the way, we want to be careful here because it's normally good to reread a question, do sanity checks, feed the answer back in. This is just an expression, bro, and there's really not much variation here. So you either can get it right or you get it wrong. I do not like to double check my questions by doing the problem literally exactly the same way over again twice. Okay. Um, it means if you made an error the first time, it's highly likely you're going to make that error the second time. It's rare to be able to catch it. So this one, you hope you get at least A, B, C, or D, but most likely you're going to get another answer. All right, so we need to go down to the next step, and let me change the color of this because I want to kind of highlight what we're doing. So the next obstacle is this here, really? So we can get that out of the way. Um, so if you want, you can go on the side and do 16 times 9, right? 9 times 6 is 54, 5, 9, right? And we get 144, but we have this minus here to worry about. All right, so we get minus 144 minus 144 plus 304, and we're copying stuff. I'm more in sync with this because my ATD, my attention to detail, is always because I have the dyslexia, and I'm always double checking my numbers to make sure I'm copying right, especially since, as you guys can note, my handwriting is not the best in the world. So in any event, I have to be sure that's okay. And that's over minus 4. Next thing I'm going to try to do is, it just seems easier to me. To combine these two probably, right? So I get minus 288 plus 304 over 4. Okay, so that's basically 304. Not basically, it literally is 304 minus 288. Okay, I can't, that's an 8. I can't take 8 from 4, so I have to take from here. So I can't take from the 0 either, so I have to make this a 29. That's a 1. This is 6, 5. So I believe that's 158. Wait, I made a mistake there. Wait, what did I do? 304. Yeah, wait, that was a 2. I wrote 39. That's a 6. So I don't know what I got here. That should have been 16. Okay, that was negative. The 304 is positive. Okay, so, and if you notice when I wrote this 4 here, I left out the minus sign. So I'm going to get 16 over minus 4 equals minus 4. Okay, give me a second. I want to run through everything I did here. So I did the minus 4 squared. I got 16. I did 16 times 9, so that's 90 plus 54 is 144, and that's going to be minus 144. Okay, so I'm checking that. The minus 144 was 36 times 2, 72. 144, good. And that's also minus because it was 36 times minus 4. So that's good. And the 304, I get 288 plus 304. And let me double check that. I'm going to run a sanity check. That means 288 plus 16, and that's what I should have done before, should get me back to 304. So I got 4 here, count my 1, 8, 9, 10, 0, 1, 304. So my sanity check, at least on that, by doing the reverse operation, makes sense. So I get 16 positive over the minus 4, and I got minus 4, yes. So 79 should be B. Yes, it is. So again, we have just straight up math, multiplication that you know how to do it for a couple of years. And this question can be beastly just by virtue of that. So that's that question. Let me circle, let's see, is that any more on this page? No, we did the 3 on this page. We're going to skip 76 for now. Sorry, we're going to skip, yeah, 76. Let me get my pages straight. That was 199, 201, 202. Those look like geometry. I think there was another PEMDAS one I mentioned, wasn't there when I looked at this originally? Let's see, 80 is what? Let's give 80 a shot. It does not look algebraic. At least that doesn't leap out at me as the case. Let's go to 80. What did I say? 80. Yeah, okay. Let me circle that to show that we did it. Again, if anybody has any questions, please ask. So this is straight up a word question, it seems. Maria borrowed $7.75 from her mother. So 11 from her father and $4.50 from her brother to purchase a video game. So most likely I'm going to have to tally that up for some reason and maybe subtract it from a $20 bill or something. Here we go. Her grandmother gave her $25 as a gift. So there's these 3 numbers. That one. Actually, I don't want to circle that. That's not, I normally just underline these. Circling is for heads up kind of stuff. Most likely, we're going to have to subtract those over the 25. So grandmother gave a 25 as a gift. How much money will Maxine have left or still owe? All right, so she may not have enough money. So that's what I circle. If she uses the money grandmother gave her to pay back the money she borrowed. All right, so she borrows $7.75. She borrows $4.50. And she borrows $11. Okay, let me just double check this because this is one place where my dyslexia kicks in where I copy numbers wrong. So we have 11, 775, 450. Okay, good. All right, so we're going to add those up. We get 5, 12. That's an ugly 2 there. Karame 1, 7, 8, 9, 13, 1, 23, 25. Let me just double check that. 5, 2, 1, 8, 12, 13, 1. Okay. And by the way, when you're doing these things, I would do a second tally in a different order. Or one thing you can do is just add, if this is the first, thing A, and this is the second B and C. I did A plus C plus B. Okay, you can also do it in a different order. In other words, you could do 11 plus 450 plus the 775. And whatever total you get there should also equal to 2325. You can also combine stuff. You can do the 775 plus the 450, get that total, whatever the case may be. In any event, the deal is from $25. All right, so let me scroll this up slightly. So, and by the way, I wrote minus 23. I think I was just referring to it. That should have been an arrow. So basically what we have to do is take the $25 and subtract from that to 2325. I normally strongly suggest you guys write everything down, but this is one that isn't too bad to do in your head. But let's just go do it because it's slightly elusive. Anyway, we can't borrow from the two zeros, so we're gonna, whoops, we're gonna borrow from the other area. When you get that, that's going to become 49. So we get 75 here. Wait, I wrote 7.5. The points there, and then we're gonna get 1. So we get $1.75. So now we have to figure out, does she owe $1.75 or she still has $1.75 left? Well, she started out with $25 and she paid $23.25. Then she definitely has money left. So the answer there would be G. All right, just be careful through this. This is set up in a certain way so that you could get 225. Obviously, just be careful. This is another one of those ones where estimating can help, but it's only going to get you so far, and you're going to get around $2. And when you get around $2, $1.75 is just as close as 225. They're both 25 cents off. Okay. We're going to do 81. So let me mark that. And let me just see how long the stream is going so far. We're going, I think, 35 minutes or so on. All right, so that's not too bad. At least in terms of the stream. My throat is stripped out, but that's fine. 81 has these bullets here, and I kind of like that sometimes. It doesn't always work for us, but sometimes it does. It looks like it's a mixed fraction addition subtraction question, and then they give choices here. All right, so we have 3, 4, 6, and 9 of various capabilities. So let's go through it. I'm just going to leave the answer choices out for now, and then as we encroach on the answer, we may bring that back into play, if you will. So Seth grows strawberries in his garden. He picks 2.5 cups of strawberries on Monday. He picked 4 cups of strawberries on Tuesday, and he ate 3/4 of a cup for breakfast on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. All right, so this is just weirdish. So if we work on the ones that he accumulated, let's change this to green to mean basically he's adding up. So we basically, from the first 2 bullets, we have 2.5 plus the 4, right, which is going to be equal to 6.5. Okay, and I'm going to keep the fraction. I actually just wrote as a decimal, but keep the fraction because this is about fractions, and mixed fractions come up often. And if we notice too, the answer choices were in fractions. Usually it's beneficial to keep it in the same unit. You don't normally want to do that conversion. It's not always true, but usually if they're in fractions and the answer's in fractions, it's almost always better, especially on simple numbers like this. So if he ate 3/4 a cup on the Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and let's switch that back to red. it basically means for this bullet, he did 3 times 3/4. Right? He did 3/4 plus 3/4 plus 3/4. And that's going to be equal to 9/4. And that's going to be equal to, what is that, 2 1/4? And how many cups of strawberry does he have left? So basically what we have to do is convert this into 6 2/4. And then what we're going to do is subtract the 2 of these. Right? So we're going to get 4 1/4. Okay, and hopefully that's one of the choices. Yeah, it is. And let me just double check. Well, let me see if that's the answer, and I'm going to double check my math because these are easy enough to be error prone and that you get wrong. Right? The answer for 81 is B. B as in boy. It's so easy to get these wrong. And of course, there are other ways to do this. Let me change the color of this just to show that we're in a sidebar mode. I'll use brown for sidebar. I could have done the 6 1/2. I could have done minus the 3/4. Figured out what that was equal to. Subtract the 3/4 again. Figured out what that was equal to. And then subtracted the 3/4 again. And then I would finally get my triple question mark, which should have been the 4 1/4. Again, this just, it doesn't matter which way you could have done. You could have added 2 days and got that was 1 1/2. Adding a 3/4 onto it again, you know, gives you the 2 1/4 again. And again, I'm writing this out as decimals just to kind of throw that thought in there, but it doesn't benefit you necessarily. But let's do that. Let's do this to see if which way is actually better. So let's go fuchsia. So since we had 2.5 was the original thing, right? We added 4.0 basically. So that gave us the 6.5. Okay. And then we note that we were going to subtract from that the 2.25. Right. And this would be 50. 6.50 minus 2.25 gives us 4.25. So this one wasn't too bad to do as decimals, but it didn't really help us any. It was trivial enough. And make sure you feed your answers back in here. An operative word here was that he ate the 3/4. Some of you guys are going to take the 6 1/2 and add the 2 1/4 to it, right? That's how you're ending up with numbers like the 6 and the 9 and so on. So make sure you're following what it says. He picked, which means he's accumulating. He picked again, he's accumulating. Then he ate them. They're going away. He's eating them. So then how many are left that he didn't eat? You could argue they're all left. They're still in his stomach. But I think we know what the question's asking us here. All right. So that's that. Let's see. Did I mention any others? We could do it right now. Let's see. Is this okay? 82 is one as well. Let me circle that to know that we did that. And 83 is another PEMDAC one, so we'll do that in this stream as well. Which situation involves quantities that combine to equal 0? So if you receive $5 a gift, and then you give $5 to a friend, you gained 5 and lost 5. This is just a no-brainer. This is completely no-brainer. And it's so easy. let's make sure we didn't miss something here. If you buy a book for $10 and then buy lunch for $10, then you're down 20, you're out 20, right? The thing here was you received 5 and then you spent 5, so you lost 5. So that's equal to 0. Okay, this one you're down 10 and then you're down 10 more. So that's equal to minus 20. Okay, they're giving this for some reason, so that's why I'm explaining it. You're getting on an elevator at the ground floor, you go 3 floors up, and then you go 3 more floors up. So you've gone up 6 floors. So it's not F, it's not G. And then you're starting in a cave 20 feet below the ground. Okay. You climb up 20 feet. So by the way, we are at 0 here, but then it says, and then you climb up 20 more. So plus 20. So this one at the end is going to give us the plus 20. So the only one that makes sense here is E. So again, that was a throwaway question. It's wasting our time to give us that question, but again, it's math, so we still need to figure these things out. So again, this is just simple math that you all know how to do, but the error-prone rate on stuff like question number 83 is completely ridiculous. Okay, so I'm going to be using, I guess, multiple pen things here. So what I want to do is do this multiplication first. All right, that's what's leaping out at me here. I'm going to do the numerator's multiplication first, and for that, I will get 4/15. All right, so I need to take the 2/3 and subtract from that the 4/15. So it seems to me that if I write the denominator 15ths, that I need to multiply that by 5, the 3 by 5 to get the 15. So I need to multiply the 2 by 5 as well. Yeah, so that would be 10/15. All right, let me see if I do that right. 5 to 2/3, right. So now at the numerator, I have this 10/15 minus the 4/15, sorry. So my numerator is going to be 6/15. Okay, my denominator has 5/3 plus a quarter divided by 3/4. So first of all, notice that this plus, and that's a divide, right? That's this thingy, the divide written that way. All right, so be careful. Some of you may see plus signs as divide signs, and some of you might see divide signs as plus signs. And hopefully you don't see them as subtraction or multiplication, because they're both crossy looking things, right? Sometimes fonts can make one look like the other, so be careful with that. Okay, so PEMDAS tells us to do this division first. So if we do the keep, flip, change, that means we keep a quarter, because we have a quarter divided by 3/4. We change the sign to multiplication from divide, and then we take the reciprocal, we flip the fraction. Okay, the 4's cancel out, and for this we end up with 1/3. All right, another way to say this is we have division by a fraction, we multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, so that means for the denominator we have 5/3 minus the 1/3, which should be equal to 4/3. Let me see here. Did I do that right? Let me just double check everything. I have 4/5 times that, we get 4/15. Bring that to 15ths. 5, we get 10/15. So the numerator, we get 6/15. The denominator, we're going to get, keep change flip, so we get 4/3, 1/4 times 4/3, we get 1/3. 5/3, nope, I did that wrong. This said 5/3 plus here, so this should have been a plus. So we're going to get 6/3, and that's equal to 2, right? So it's important to stop sometimes and double check to see if you did the right thing. So it's not a problem that I made an error as long as I can resolve it. And that's the gotcha with this thing. You have to keep track of a lot of stuff. It's not only the arithmetic and the PEMDAS and the order of operation, but it's a bookkeeping question. So my denominator then in that case is 2. So this whole thing here is divided by 2. Okay. So that creates a second scenario where what we want to do, I like to do, is I take this form and I rewrite it in long form. So we get 6/15 divided by 2. Okay. 2 is the same as 2/1. And look what we have. We have the division by a fraction again. So we're going to have 6/15 times 1/2. I like to cancel out stuff, so 2 goes into here. That's 3, right? And I get 1, and I get 5. Okay, so I get D 1/5. Okay, again, this one's hard because it's error prone, and you can't just feed the answer back in here. And I can't really distinguish in terms of a sanity check which choice would make the most sense here. For lack of any other choice, I have to do this over a second time. That would be my double check. And the problem with these kind of problems, these kind of questions, is that you've already scribbled all over your page. All right. So that's that one. Let's see what else we got going on here on this page. Let me circle that because we did that as well. Let's see, that's proportions. That's a rate. That is a conversion. That is a proportion. This is, let's try 89 because I think that's just straight up arithmetic again, or arithmetic-y. All right, where's my tablet pen? So a student reads 1/12 of a book in 1/3 of an hour. So a student reads, that's the rate. I could have thrown this into the rate questions as well. So this is involving a constant of proportionality. All right, let's just throw it in here because it's not too bad of one. The student reads 1/12 of a book in 1/3 of an hour. I'll just put BK here. 1/12 of a book in 1/3 of an hour. Okay, what fraction of the book can the student read in 1 hour? Well, it seems to me that if the bottom is 1/3, all we have to do is multiply this whole thing by 3/3. Okay, so basically that means we get 1/12. And this is good because we're just multiplying it by 1. So we get 1/12 times 3 over 1/3 times 3. And that would give us 4. No, sorry. That would give us 1/4 over, and the bottom just cancels out to 1. All right, let me get rid of that thing there because it looks like I don't want anybody to think it's a sign. Okay, so that would just straight up give us B. Okay, if we wanted, there's a second way to solve this, and there's just multiple ways to solve a lot of these. I'm not talking them all through. If we just focus on this here, again, that's 1/12 divided by 1/3. And if we do multiplication by the reciprocal or keep, change, flip, we get 1/12 times 3 over 1. And of course, those can cancel out. And we get this. Okay, so we get the same answer. Same answer. Whoops, where's my tab? I lost my tab. So we still get a quarter, right? Because we get 3/12. We can cancel, or we just get 3/12. And that is also equal to 1 over 4. And 1 second, guys, because we have a troll. Yay, trolls. Okay, let's see what else we got here. So 89 involved the unit rate. The unit rate is 1/12 to 1/3. All right, so the constant of proportionality in this case would be a quarter. So basically, y equals x over 4 is really what we're talking about, and that makes sense, right? The 1/12 is in ratio as 1 to 4 of the thing, right? Because we can also write the fraction, the answer here, as 1 is to 4. Okay, and we can also express this as an equation as y equals kx. So the k in this case is 1 over 4, so that's equal to 1/4 x. Or if you want, it's just x over 4. Right? So if we take the 1/12 and divide, well, that's exactly what we did. So I'm just being repetitive at this point. Okay, so that's that guy. That's 89. Let's see, what's the length of the stream right now? So, because if we're hitting about an hour, I'll end it. Yeah, we're 54 minutes in. So let me see if there's anything that leaves out as 1 or 2 really simple ones. That's hard. Let's try 94. And what I'm probably going to do is do a stream on the extra ones and categorize them together. Maybe constant of proportionality questions, PEMDAS questions, algebra questions, stuff like that. Okay, so a car costing $24,000 is subject to a sales tax of 8%. So we have $24K that we're going to apply 8% on. If Bindu made a $10,000 down payment, what is the total amount that she has left? So what we need to do is figure out the full payment. So that's the $24,000. And we have to apply this 8% here to it, right? So that's going to be the 8 over 100. There's a couple ways to do this. One way is to figure out what that tax is going to be. So we can do 8 over 100 here. I can throw away these 2 zeros, which means I'm going to throw away that 0 and that 0. All right. So then we have the 8 times the 240 basically at this point. So that's 0, that's 2, that's 3 here, 16, we get 1920. 1920 should be the tax. So that means that she paid the 24,000 plus the 1920 tax. So she paid 25,920. And what we need to do now is take the 10,000 because she paid that, right? She's going to pay 25. She paid 10,000 down. And I'm going to double check this in a second because I want to make sure I copied and did the quote simple math right. 0, 2, 9, 5, 1. So that's 15,920. Okay, which should be G. And let me just run through all that again. 24,000. So not only do I have the attention to detail concern in terms of the dyslexia issue that I have, but you should all approach it this way. Just be careful so you're not making a careless error. So we have 24K, that's 8%. That's 8, 0, 32, 3, 16, 19, 20 for sure. 25, 19, 20, 20, 15, 19, 20. Yep, it all checks out, so we're good. That is that. And let's try to see if there's another smaller one along those lines. 85 is not too bad. Sorry, 95. So we'll make this the last one for now. And even if there's more, I could just pack them all on the last stream. So 95 is going to be on the other side over here. Where's 95? The temperature stuff almost always is mimicking a number line. Just this is the underlying concept. It's always important to get the underlying concepts of these things. So look at the illustration. Can I increase this? Yeah. Okay. Winter temperatures in Chicago. So on day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we have different temperatures. It looks like it goes down, and then finally on the last day, it pops back up slightly. Okay. There's nothing else I can figure out here. They're all Fahrenheit. So there's no unit conversion so far. The table above shows temperatures for a 1-week period during the winter in Chicago. What is the range of temperatures shown in the table? So if you guys have points of center, okay, range is one of those because there's min, max, range, mode. There's a bunch more, especially if you're doing a box plot. You have interquartile stuff. So the point of center dealing with range if we want that, we're normally going to do the max. minus the min. That's all they're asking here. So the math on here isn't too hard, but most of you don't know what range means because you normally did it in 5th to 6th grade and really never again. And again, with all the topics available, this is in the realm of possibility for you guys. Okay, so it seems to me that 17 is the max. And the smallest number here is the minus 5. So what we're going to do is 17 minus 5. And that's equal to 17 plus 5. And at least in my neck of the woods here, that's 22. All right. Does anybody have any questions about anything we covered or side questions you want to ask about something that's not directly related to these topics? If not, I'll bid you guys adieu. And I might start another stream up in a couple of minutes. Depends what's going on with me here. I'm going to check my email and a bunch of other stuff. Any last questions? Going, gone. Please like, subscribe. You need any tutoring, you need any question answered, hit me up an email, GregsTutoringNYC at gmail.com. Peace, y'all.